My name's Ed Gaskin. I'm Associate Director at Zaha Hadid Architects. I've overseen several projects in our portfolio as a project manager. So Kinetica helped us do some parts of the project at 520 West 28 in Chelsea, New York, in Manhattan. And 520 West 28 is a luxury condominium building that sits on the High Line. And it has amenities that are provided for the resident community that consists of event spaces and gym and pool and sauna and robotic parking and other features within there that are, you might consider artwork, but they're special design features. And that's where Kinetica helped out. We had a wall of the pool area that was a very special sculpted relief. And Kinetica helped us to execute that and create some of the details for it. They also helped us to execute a green wall on the outside. Both of those had very different materials and very different sets of requirements. So that kind of introduces the overall project and how Kinetica fit into that project. In our particular project, by the time the general contractor came around to hiring Kinetica, finishes were going in all around them, and they had these very heavy panels that had to be installed inside a very constrained space, which had finished tiles on a deck surrounding the pool. And that deck was a very narrow deck. There wasn't a lot of width. It was kind of like a narrow sidewalk. And just on the other edge of the sidewalk from the wall was the pool. So you don't have a very spacious, very generous space to work in, very limited. And these extremely heavy panels had to be installed while allowing these very pencil-lined gaps at the base and at the top without damaging all the materials that they're adjacent to. And there was no easy route in. So you cannot create scaffold over the pool because the way the finished tiles around the pool are installed, they'll break. So you had to come up with an alternative way to install the piece. So they built this amazing device that would take a flat panel and rotate it up vertically with a center of gravity at its center. And as you rotate it up, it remains very stable. But remember, now you're about a meter off of the wall. So now you need to push that panel into place. And they designed that machine to have telescoping arms, kind of scissor arms that would allow them to, without a lot of force, push the panels up against the wall. But now imagine you're kind of tippy because your center of gravity is not over the center of the trolley. So they made, on the opposite side, a set of counterweights to keep the thing in balance. So as they moved the panels closer to the wall, the counterweights would move in the opposite direction to keep the whole thing steady. They're not required to build this, but they knew that to complete it, they had to build this special, again, a one-off piece that's not going to be used anywhere else. And without complaint and without creating any kind of tension with the general contractor, say about cost and all these things, at least the experience feels like they're doing it for the sheer pleasure of it. And that's a great feeling. We knew they could overcome any challenge because of the things they showed us, and they demonstrated that as well on our project. Like Kinetica, everything we do is unique. So we're always looking at innovating through design. We're putting out there something that might not have been done before. So we need to find people that have the expertise. They need to understand working in 3D. And then they need to have the tools and equipment that can make these kinds of customized shapes. I'm very excited about all their capabilities and their interests as makers of things. But on the other hand, the people are great. I mean, the project manager, the guys in the shop, these guys are there for you at all times. You have access to all of them, and they're super friendly, super warm, and I really enjoyed the experience of working with them. their story is all about overcoming challenges. One that I remember is for James Turrell, one of his civilians, and they had to do this roof. They had to meet James Turrell's specifications, and to create this, they had to create their own equipment to do the pour. It was a specially fabricated piece, so you know that they can overcome the design problems, the fabrication problems, anything.